So yesterday I showed you how to take a small portion of your final drawing. So if this is my final drawing, I took a small section of it to test out on a small piece of rubber. You should have your colors figured out, 2 to 3 colors on a piece of paper. And I also showed you how to figure out the different order in which you're going to be carving. Remember, you're going to carve away anything that's white first. So for me, that would be the clouds, the land inside of here. And then I would print my lightest color. And then I would go on to carve away additional areas. Okay. Yesterday, I also showed you how to take tracing paper and transfer onto a piece of rubber. If you haven't gotten the rubber yet, it is in the front drawer. Make sure you're getting a small piece. And then you need to use a permanent marker to outline things. You notice I also made myself a note. This is going to be blue. This is going to stay black. So you can fill things in with the marker or just make sure you're looking at your drawing. Now we're going to start carving. So I'm going to talk about these carving tools. So this is a lino cutter. Okay. It's got like a little knife on it. So I'm going to move this out of the way so you can kind of see. This has right now a big blade on it. I think it's a number 3 blade. So we are going to need start with a smaller blade. So if everyone can just watch how I'm going to change the blades out. Kaylee, can you see okay? All right, so I'm going to open up the back, and in the back of these, most of them, there's going to be other blades. Not all of them are going to have their own blades. If it does have blades in it, please try to put them back in. I'm borrowing these from another teacher, so I'm going to make sure the blades get back. And then you're going to loosen this top bit and pull out. There's kind of like a little lip in here. You're going to pull this blade out, and you want to find the smallest blade. If you don't have a small blade in yours, you want to come up front and grab one. It's by the paper over there. And then you're going to slide this into place and tighten it by rotating it. Should go clockwise, I think, to rotate it. And it should be nice and stiff in there. Okay, it shouldn't be wobbling around. And then put the remaining, if there's any blades in there right now, put them in there. Okay. All right, so again, I'm starting with the smallest blade. And all I'm going to be doing right now is kind of outlining things. So like, I want to look at my drawing while I'm doing this too. So for instance, my clouds are going to be white. My grassy areas are going to be white. So I think I'll start with the simplest area first. So I want to leave the black line. I'm just going to flip this over so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. And so all I'm going to do right now is kind of outline things so I can go through and kind of create a little line around things with my finest tool. So I'm not digging in deep. All I'm doing is taking out a very small chunk. That's all you need. I can even go in, and I know my clouds are going to be white, so I'm going to go in here and start outlining. And I have to kind of go back and forth. I'm not digging in. I'm keeping the tool parallel. Okay. After I've gone in and done some outlining of things, and the outlining is just going to give you a nice clean outer line versus using a giant tool in there, then you can go in with a bigger tool. You also don't have to completely clear out an area. You can give it some texture. So you can see here how this has some texture in the clouds. I didn't completely clear the clouds out. I left a little bit of the material, which gave me some texture inside of the clouds. And then I can go and switch to a larger tool once I've outlined things. So I outlined this line and this line. Now I can come in with a larger tool if I'd like to. So these are called gouges. They are sharp, but if you're using it carefully, it shouldn't be dangerous. But please be careful when you're using them, near the table or anything, because it could cut through the soft wood of the table. And then I could come in with my larger gouge and just cut away a little bit more material. Okay. Again, I would recommend kind of outlining things first. You're not outlining everything though. Like I wouldn't want to outline the figure, right? Because that's going to be black. I'm just going in and outlining things that are going to be white inside of the area. Okay. If I go and do an outline on my figure, then all of a sudden I'm going to have a white outline there. All right. So again, I'm just taking away a tiny bit of material. So I don't know if you guys can see. I wonder if I turn off the light, if that would be. Nah. It's not really that helpful. Okay, so that's the kind of thickness that I'm going for. Here's an example of somebody who carved away. They actually probably went a little bit too thick here, too deep here. So you're really only taking away a very minimal amount, and you can leave a little bit of texture. Okay. You're only taking away your first layer. Again, right now, all I want you to do for anyone that's ready is remove the areas of white. And if you're feeling nervous and you want to practice, I do have a big bin of scrap up here. So you're welcome to grab a piece of scrap before going on to your final. Okay. I'm going to stop the video and I will post it to our Google Classroom if you want to watch it again.